What's going on, guys? Roger here with MPVO Tactical. In today's video, we are taking a look at a scope that many of you wished came in a first focal plane version. Of course, I'm talking about the new Atibal Hybrid 12 medium power variable optic, but now in their first focal plane version. So as always, I like to tell you guys how I go about getting these products in for review. Our buddy Jimmy over at Atibal reached out to us and asked us if we'd like to try out his new first focal plane version of the Hybrid 12. We enjoyed shooting the second focal plane version so much that we figured we'd have just as much fun shooting this first focal plane one as well. Jimmy sent the scope out to us free of charge for us to use in this video and for us to keep. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the specifications of this new Hybrid 12 first focal plane scope. The Atibal Hybrid 12 MPVO is a first focal plane scope with magnification up to 12 times, side parallax adjustment, locking target turrets, 6 brightness settings, and has a tube size of 35 millimeters. The scope uses Hoya Japanese ED glass with a fully multi-coated lens and is stated to be fog-proof, shock-proof, and waterproof. The scope will come with a lifetime warranty and feature a mil reticle. More on that reticle in just a little bit. Okay, before we get into the range footage, I do want to talk about the price point, guys. When Jimmy first reached out to me and told me about the scope, I figured it was going to be in the $1,500 ballpark. He then told me that the scope will be selling on their website for $999. After shooting it on the range, I can definitely tell you that this is a good deal, and with the Black Friday and holiday sales going on right now, you can most likely get the scope for even cheaper on their site. I definitely recommend you pause this video and go and order one of these right now, because I'm sure after this video, Jimmy will be selling out of these very quickly. Alright guys, now for the range portion. I'm going to go over a few things that we needed to do in regards to prep before shooting out at distance. I want to preface this portion of the video though by letting you guys know that I'm still new to long range and I still consider myself very amateur when it comes to it. With that being said, I want you all to see how easy it was for all of us in this video to shoot out to distances up to 600 yards with a 16-inch AR-15 chambered in 223. Alright guys, so the first thing I did was zero the scope at 100 yards. Now I do use a little bit of math when zeroing, which helps me get this done quickly instead of shooting a bunch of rounds and then just guessing what my adjustment should be. Each click on this turret is 0.1 mil, so that means that 10 clicks is 1 full mil, and 1 mil at 100 yards is 3.6 inches. So when I was zeroing my target and I found myself 1 inch high, I can divide that 1 inch by 0.36, since 0.36 is equal to 0.1 mil, and see that the answer is 2.77. Rounding that up to 3, I see that I need to come down 3 clicks from this grouping. After doing this, I find myself zeroed at my liking at 100 yards. Now again, I go back to what I said earlier. With being an amateur shooter in regards to long range, I prefer using BDC or holdovers. Using the Straylock Pro app, I can enter the data of my rifle and ammunition, and the application will produce the correct holdovers on the reticle for the very distances that we were shooting at. However, in order for all of this to work, we must first chronograph the ammunition. Alright guys, now that we got the zero squared away, we are going to shoot a few rounds through the chronograph here, get our average feet per second or velocity out of this exact build. We can plug that information into the Straylock Pro app with the bullet info, and that'll give us our accurate holdovers for distance. So let's get 3 rounds here and see what our average is. Here we go.
2,769.
We got 2,769.
2,663.
2663.
2,722.
2722. We'll do 2 more.
2,708.
2708. Last one.
2,691.
2691. All right, so I'm going to average these out, plug in the data, and then we're going to start shooting some targets at distance. Here we go. So the ammunition we were using for this video is the new 77 grain 223 ammunition from our friends over at Ultimate Ammunition. With this ammunition and the 16-inch gun from New Frontier Armory equipped with the Griffin Armament 30 SD suppressor, we did average a velocity of 2,711 feet per second. Now with this information, we can use the Straight Lock Pro app to get our correct holdovers on our reticle to shoot our steel targets from 100 yards all the way out to 600 yards. Now, speaking of targets, guys, we had a mix of SITAC steel targets and TA targets spread out on the range. They were at distances from 100 to 600, like I said earlier. The closer 100 and 200 yard targets were a 6-inch round circle falling tree, and then the other one was a mini A-zone steel target, which is about 6 inches wide. All right, guys, we are now ready for some long range stuff. We have everything zeroed. We have all of our stuff entered in the Straight Lock Pro app. Now we have our holdovers. We got steel targets all the way out to 600, so 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way out to 6. In addition to that, you're going to be seeing this right here being recorded, the setup as we're shooting it. And then you'll have the footage of the iPhone recording through the binoculars. And then also I'll have overlaid on the screen the reticle from the app. That way you're seeing what our holdovers are. So first target up is going to be the 6-inch dual or falling tree from TA targets. And then after that's 200 yards, which is a 6-inch wide mini A-zone target. So let's get this going. John, first up is going to be the 100. You ready?
Ready.
All right, here we go. 6-inch circle, 100 yards.
Impact.
All right, let's go to 2. Mini A-zone. Holdover is going to be just above the first notch.
Impact.
Cool. Now we're going to 300. At 300, I'm looking at just below. Yep, second notch, just below. Here we go.
Impact.
Nice. Okay, 400. All the way left now, and we're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Just below the fourth notch. Ooh, I can barely see that white target. There it is. White target. I like the black circles on. This helps. What did I say? Right below the fourth. 4. Here we go.
Impact.
Nice. Now we're going to 500, which is all the way right, and that is going to be just above.
Black target, white dot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just above the 7th notch, all the way on the right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just above it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, John?
You ready? Like an impact.
Hey, oh, I heard it. That's nice. All right, and now for 600, we are going all the way to the number 5, right above it. Ready, John?
Ready. Like an impact on that last one.
Let's go again. Is it left of target?
Just barely. Impact.
Nice.
Impact.
Nice. Boom. So there you go. With the Hybrid 12 first focal plane, shooting some 77 grain from Ultimate Ammunition, hitting targets 100 to 600 on a 16-inch build. So now we're going to have some of the other guys shoot and see what their thoughts are. Now you guys all know that I like to have multiple shooters on the range. That way we can all see how the others performed with the equipment being used and or tested in our videos. With that being said, we had Gil step up to the plate for his first time. Yes, this was Gil's first time ever shooting long range, and we were pretty stoked for him to shoot because he was able to get all of his shots all the way out to 500 yards.
Impact.
Nice. Go ahead and hit that one again. Make it, it'll spin and fall to the other side.
Impact.
Aim towards the edge of it to the right.
Impact.
Nice.
Now you're cooking.
So now your 200 target is going to be that black mini target to the left. You see it? Oh, I see it. You can zoom out to find your target and then zoom back in if you need to. Nice. For 300, it's going to be just below the second notch.
Impact.
Okay, now it's all the way left, the white target all the way left. Yards.
Impact.
Nice. Now we're gonna go out to 500.
Black target, white circle.
You see our,
Impact.
oh, nice. You see our,
Impact.
oh, nice. We also had Jade come onto the range with us. She did just fine getting on target all the way out to 600 yards. That center falling tree, it's going to be point of aim, point of impact, dead center on the reticle. Nice. Moving to 200, the small black target will be just above but touching the first notch. Nice. 300, you are going to be just below the second notch.
That's
So if you-
the right
Yeah,
target?
to the right.
Dead center in the middle, yeah.
Just below the second, you said?
Yeah, so if you literally put the second notch at their neck, it'll hit them in the chest.
Got it.
Nice. All right, shooting for 500, all the way to the right, black target, white circle.
Real low.
I was holding to the right of his head because of the wind.
Impact.
Nice.
Woo.
Hold right for the wind, going for 600.
Impact.
Hey, look at you, 600.
Impact.
Hey. Last but not least, you know John had to get some time on the gun. He too was able to stretch all the way out to 600 yards, no problems. All right, John, 100. First target's going to be the falling tree, 6-inch round.
Here we go.
Moving on to the 200, it's going to be just above the first notch.
Black target on the left.
Nice.
All right, 300.
300 is going to be just below the second notch. .400 is going to be just below the fourth notch. Put it at the neck and you should be fine. Target all the way left. Nice. Going for 600, hold at the 5. Impact. Nice. Impact. Nice. Now again, guys, I want to go back to what I said earlier about being an amateur long-range shooter. With this 16-inch build and the new hybrid 12 first focal plane, all of us were able to hit out at distance, even with the 10 to 12 mile-an-hour winds. Now, you guys have heard me say this before in videos. Yes, it is typically the Indian and not the Arrow. However, in this case, I think the Arrow being the hybrid 12 scope definitely helped out a lot. Now, before we left the range, I did some closer range shooting using the scope in the lower power options, which makes the reticle more like a red dot optic. It's definitely very easy to use and very easy to get on target in the lower powered settings. Now, I know a lot of people like to run their variable optics for low and high magnifications. However, I personally prefer just to leave the optic magnified and then run an offset red dot like this Holosun 509 ACSS. I did so using the top mounted RMR ring on this Bobro Engineering single lever QD mount. So there's definitely a lot of things to like about this new offering from Atibal, guys. The higher magnification, it now being offered in first focal plane, and that awesome side parallax adjustment feature. However, I do want to go back again to the price. For all of you guys out there that have been looking for a scope that you can rock for 3-gun or 2-gun matches, as well as anyone looking to put together their SPR build, I think you should really consider this new hybrid 12 first focal plane. It's an awesome scope, and it's definitely going to save you a lot of money. For a well-built, feature-rich scope, I think you'll see the price go up in the next couple of months for sure. Well guys, that's going to wrap up our video on this new Hybrid 12 MPVO first focal plane scope from Atibal Sights. Again, congrats to Jimmy on the launch of this new scope, and we appreciate you sending it out to us. Guys, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up down below, as that does help out the channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing because we post new videos every week. If you want to further support our content, check out that Patreon link down below. Our Patreon members are a huge reason why we keep making these videos for you guys all to watch. Big thanks to them. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, so this is Gil's first shots ever in a QVO video. Shooting the 6-inch steel at 100 yards, your first rounds. Here you go, dead center hole, bud. You got it?
Got it.
Get your safety on you. Ah! Go again. Nice and smooth, man.
Impact.
Nice. Go ahead and hit that one again.